Hey, what's up YouTube's abluegolfball here today with another Pokemon TCG online video, and today I have for you guys a really interesting deck. This deck was suggested to us by Ian Hassan. I apologize if I mispronounced your last name, but he sent me his deck list. I did like his deck list. I gave it a couple runs, test runs, and I made some minor modifications to it, some changes to it, but for the most part, it's basically the same. But let's go ahead and take a look at this really quick deck analysis. I do like it. It's very straightforward, very simple, and yet it flows well. I think the times I was able to play test it, I was able to get the setup going pretty well. I mean, granted, you're using a coin flip with Lapras, but for the most part, it's consistent. That's the key. And so, very simple, very straightforward. The problem here is, well, we have two Shamans for setup, and we all know what Shaman does. 110 HP, colorless Pokemon. Set up, being able to draw until you have 6. The problem with Kyurem EX here is, well, for one, good thing is that we're not in the expanded format, meaning there's no such thing as Suicune and Sigilyph. Even if there was, we could actually potentially attack with the Lapras. But there's such thing as a Pyroar, right? And this deck does not have any stage 1s or stage 2s. Now, of course, we could throw in a Hex Maniac in here, and that could help. But I don't know. I think even with Hex Maniac, it would be pretty tricky. But I mean, you could get it to work. So, I mean, I didn't run into any Pyroar decks, so I wasn't really concerned, but anyways, Kyurem EX here is the 180 HP Water-type Pokemon. It's got the attack Glaciate here. We all know what that does. We've seen that in the non-EX Kyurem EX, or not Kyurem EX, sorry. It hits for 30 and does 30 damage to all your opponent's bench Pokemon. Perhaps this could come in handy. I like it. It's a fun attack. Definitely a fun attack. But the real attack we're going to focus on, or at least we're trying to focus on, is Ice Caliber. And it hits for 130 damage. It does cost 3 water energies and 1 colorless, 4 total. That's very costly, very intensive in investment. You'll have to discard an energy card attached to this Pokemon, so Kyurem EX, and then the defending Pokemon can attack during your opponent's next turn. So it's not an option. You have to discard. And then you get the next effect, which is your opponent can't attack. So it's kind of a miniature lock in that sense. Of course, your opponent can still retreat or play a switch and then retreat or something like that. That would cancel out the Ice Caliber effect. But for the most part, if you can get them out there and you can hit them, they can't attack you. If they, I don't know. It is weak to metal, so that's something to look out for. It also has a 3 retreat cost. And yeah, that's about it for the Pokemon line. Only 9 Pokemon, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. For the item cards and whatnot, we do have 2 battle compressors. Oh wait, I didn't even talk about the Lapras here. Lapras, the 110 HP. Man, there's so much Lapras hype right now. Lapras has the first attack, Seafaring here. Flip 3 coins. For each heads, attach a water energy card, a basic energy card, from your discard pile to your benched Pokemon in any way you like. And that's kind of nice. We can be able to flip potentially 3 coins, right? Flip 3 heads off of 3 coins, and put up, just play 3 energies down, and then in the next turn you'll be able to power up Kyurem EX for a nice Caliber. So a nice energy acceleration for that. I mean, that could totally work out. Hydro Pump, you can definitely do that too. Again, if you're running against, I don't know, if you're playing Expanded, you have Safeguard Pokemon or something like that. Yeah, you can hit for Hydro Pump. This attack does 20 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. So with 2 water energies and a muscle band, you'll be hitting for 70. And yeah, alright, let's take a look at the item cards. I already said the battle compressor here, you're going to be able to discard 3 cards, and ideally that's going to go with the Lapras here, so Lapras can flip 3 coins and grab the energies from the discard pile. So battle compressor right there. We have the dive ball, only one of these. We want to focus more on the ultra balls so we can discard energy and thin out our deck in our hand. Here is 2 energy retrievals. We're going to play this to get some energies in case if we have a lot of energies in the discard pile, we can bring some more into our hand, and especially in the scenarios where if you're using Ice Caliber and you're discarding and you need to play an energy every turn, it's good to play energy retrieval and at least have 2 energies in your hand so you can do Ice Caliber 2 turns in a row. We have the escape rope, one of these right here, Professor's Letter, and 3 switch. We have 4 ultra balls. And again, the Ultra Ball works really well too, being able to thin out our hand, thin out our deck, discard some things, especially discarding energy cards that can come very handy when we use Seafaring from the Lapras. And I'll have to mention the switch. 3 switches, very heavy in the number of switches, including an escape rope, because yes, Lapras is a true retreat cost. We want to do Seafaring and then retreat, switch. Of course, we could have gone with, in the next set, Floatstone's going to come back. You can probably switch that out, but we want to play Trick Coin for the Lapras. Alright, so I'll talk about that in a little bit. I will be playing AZ here, and the reason for that is that it does work very well with the Lapras. If you don't have a switch, you can use AZ, or for example, if your opponent Lysanders out a Kyurem EX that doesn't have any energies on it, you can use AZ for that too. And then, of course, we could use AZ for Shaman EX, and then just play the Shaman EX again. 2 Lysanders, 1 Pokemon Sentinel Lady could come in handy with that. We have the Professor Birch's Observation as well as 4 Sycamores. We do have 3 Rough Seas right here and 4 Muscle Bands to power up the Ice Caliber. 2 of these Trick Coins, that's going to be directly for the Seafaring Lapras. We have the Water Energies here, 14 Water Energies, very high in Water Energy count, because we're going to be having to power up Ice Caliber quite a bit, and gonna need to have a lot of energies in the discard pile to be able to guarantee, multiple Seafarings if you need to do that. And so, all right, that's it for the deck. I mean, hopefully you guys got the gist of it. Again, Ian Hassan has suggested this deck, so thanks for him for sharing the list with me. And all right, let's go ahead and test this deck out. Let's give it a test run and see how it does. All right, here we go. All right, and it looks like we'll be playing against Kyurem EX, and okay, looks like he will be going first, and that's okay with us, I guess. We'll be going second. So, hey, we start off with the Lapras. We can go with the Seafaring right away. It looks like we have a very promising start. I do like this indeed. And we have a Dive Ball. We got the Ultra Ball. We can probably get a Shaman, Dive Ball for the Kyurem, Trick Coin, Muscle Band, everything. And we can probably discard. We could probably play the energy, but a part of me wants to discard it too. That we can have energies in the discard pile, and then ideally we can draw into some more energies off the Shaman. And we see right here my opponent is playing a Fennekin, so this looks very promising indeed, very advantageous for us. I do like to see that kind of start from my opponent, and since we're playing a water deck, fire is weak to water, and this looks great. Okay, we see right here a Trainer's Mail, and it's a secret rare one too. We see the Scorched Earth come into play. Meaning we could potentially get our stadium and counter our opponent's stadium. So good thing we are going second. My opponent has played his stadium first, so we do have the upper hand in that sense in terms of the stadium battle. We see a Blaziken EX hit the field over there. Okay, we even see a DCE drop over there. We can still see something like a Flare Storm. But all right, that's it. My opponent passes the turn. And look at that, we do get 2 water energies. We'll play at least 1, and we can, let's go ahead and do the plan right here, get the other Kyurem EX right now, and then we have the Muscle Band here. We can discard the Lysander and the energy, bring out that Shaman EX, and draw into a fresh hand size of 6. Oh, this is great. This is amazing. We can probably play the Sycamore. I'll play down the Kyurem, play the Sycamore, discard some more energies, and then we can go for the Seafaring, maybe flip 3 heads. Let's go and counter the stadium right there, and let's go see what we get. We could probably, we got 2 out. Okay, we got 2 out of the 3. We'll take that. No need to reflip. That's totally fine with me. We can go with the Glaciate in the next turn or something like that. We do have a switch we can use. We discarded a switch from that Sycamore, I believe. So, Blaziken right there has DCE, and I could see an energy drop from the Blaziken, or we could see an energy drop on the Fennekin. Here's an Ultra Ball that could go for the Delphox, and we could see the rare candy into the Delphox. Turn 2, Delphox. Oh man, that is pretty intense right there. My opponent will be able to draw into 6 cards every turn now with that Delphox, unless I knock it out, of course. And that's much better than a 1-turn setup from the Shaman. Consistently being able to draw into 6 is pretty strong. But again, you are trying to, you gotta have to get out a stage 2, a fire type stage 2 for that matter. So it's not even, like grass types can evolve really fast, or with fighting or water types, you can use Archie's Ace in a Hole or Max's and Ball Trick. Get stage 2s pretty quick that way too. But yeah, so we get hit for 130. That's gonna knock us out. It's a shame we couldn't get 3 heads. Of course, 3 heads is kind of a wishful thinking, but I mean, why not dream big, right? So we do have a Battle Compressor. We can thin out the deck a little bit more. We'll probably discard some more energy cards this way. If we get into Lapras, we can do more Seafarings. But And we do have the energy retrieval, which works as like a kind of like a Professor's Letter 2. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to play the Professor Birch's observation. We're just going to hit the Delphox for 100 with that muscle band, hitting Glaciate, and hitting 30 for the Blaziken on the bench. And then with the Pokemon Center Lady, we can VS Seeker for that and heal off the damage, as well as heal off damage from the Rough Seas. So we're going to go with that. And again, my opponent can definitely power up his Blaziken really fast. We can see an energy drop this turn, then we can see another Blacksmith in the next turn, or even this turn, and then who knows, right? So could be a big struggle. You know, definitely if my opponent can get like 4 fire energies on the Blaziken, easily can flip, you know, 2 heads out of the 4 and hit us for well, it wouldn't hit us for weakness, that's for sure. We do have let's see here, let's go for the Pokemon Center Lady. We'll heal off a little bit. And we're gonna probably just burn the switch and the Professor Birch's observation, bring out the what do you call it, the Lapras, and that way we can just go ahead and do another Seafaring in the next turn if my opponent does knock it out, and we have a Professor Birch's observation. Hopefully we can get either the energy retrieval or draw a water energy off of that. Hey, we got an escape rope. So again, right here, Flare Storm, if all my opponent needs is 1 more fire energy and flips heads twice, that would knock me out. Or if my opponent you know, played Blacksmith and then, you know, flipped heads 2 out of the 3, yeah, that gives my opponent a better chance. So we do see a Blacksmith here. Blacksmith will go ahead and power up, and wow, another energy drop. My opponent's got 4 of these, and all he needs is 2, but hits. Oh my goodness, we survived the turn. We got 20 HP left. This is too good. We can just go ahead and play an energy down right here and knock out this Blaziken. Don't even need to use the Rough Seas, and that's it. Poor Blaziken. Oh man. Well, had some chances. I think my opponent, this could have totally gone the other way easily. If my opponent hit at least 2 heads out of the 4, the Kyurem EX would have been knocked out, would have been starting over, would have to play go for Seafaring again, hopefully get flipped 3 heads, and then power up the Kyurem EX on the bench. Oh man, so definitely lucked out right there. But even still, even though we lucked out, we definitely got to see some really good consistency and chemistry in this Kyurem EX deck. And so we were able to get out our strategy. We were able to power up Kyurem EX fairly quickly, like turn 3. And yeah, overall, I mean, no, I don't know. It's pretty fun. I enjoyed playing this, actually. So let's go ahead and play another match here on Pokemon TCG Online and see how we do. Alrighty. All right, and we're going to be playing against Forlan. Interesting. Okay. Whenever I think LAN, I think of networks, wireless, things like that. That's just me. So right here, my opponent's going to be choosing heads or tails. We see my opponent's playing with the fire coin, so I wonder if we're playing against another fire deck. I mean, that'd be pretty nice, back-to-back fire decks for us, and since we're playing a water deck, I'll take that any day. So gotta wait and see if my opponent will be choosing heads or tails here, and we shall begin from there. But in any case, I mean, if we're going second, I don't mind. I guess we'll go first. I don't mind that either. Going second is pretty good for this deck since we don't technically evolve, so that's kind of a problem for Pyroar decks. But going second, we can use Lapras Seafaring right away. So right here, we're going to start off with the Kyurem EX. Not exactly the best start, but we do have a couple things that we can take advantage here. We could probably discard the Water Energy and Pokemon Center Lady and get out Lapras, play the energy down on Lapras, play the Rough Seas, and then play the Shaman EX. Or we could hang on to the Pokemon Center Lady and go with that. But yeah, I'm not sure what my opponent's doing, taking a while to grab that active Pokemon. I guess could be a hard decision, very difficult decision here. So we're playing against a Giratina EX. That's why my opponent has the fire coins. Now let's get rid of just go with the game plan, get rid of that Pokemon Center Lady, bring out the Lapras right here, and again we're going second, so we can't attack anyways. Alrighty, we might just play the Sycamore. I guess we could play another Lapras. We can get a Trick Coin. That's kind of nice. And play one more Kyurem down on the bench. And that's about it. Now, we could have kept one bench space for a another Kyurem EX or something else. But you know what? I'm feeling pretty good with this. Let's just go ahead. We'll battle compressor, get rid of some energies, and end the turn this way. Now, I would really like to get a switch. If we can get a switch, that'd be great. Again, with the Chaos Wheel, that could shut us off from our stadiums. We don't play special energies, but we do play Muscle Band and Trick Coin. And if my opponent was able to pull that off, then we won't be able to play those cards, and that could be that'd be a big bummer. But if we can pull off Ice Caliber, lock my opponent up from attacking, I could definitely buy ourselves a turn or two to counter stadiums or something like that. And we see a Hoopa EX hit the field. And here comes a Shaman, a two High Dragons. My opponent now has free retreat for his Dragon Pokemon. We even see a Trainer's Mail right here. Trainer's Mail is going to go grab a Battle Reporter. But that Battle Reporter is not even going to work. It's not going to work since, my opponent's got more cards than us. Unless he plays his hand size down. Well, we both have 5 cards, so he won't be able to play it anyways. We see a double Dragon Energy right here. I guess my opponent's going to be able to power it up in turn 2. We can see, my opponent brings out the Lysander and drags out a Kyurem, the other Kyurem without the energy. We see the Sky Field right here. I'm not too concerned. That just gives me, more opportunities to play other things on the bench too, I guess. But here comes the Reshiram because of that free retreat. We could see my Reshiram use Turbo Blaze, and yes, my opponent does. So, man, well, we can still counter the stadium. I mean, that's something we could do. Let's go ahead. We'll play the AZ, get rid of that Kyurem there, and also counter the stadium. Now, my opponent very likely will discard maybe the Shaman. Could discard the Hoopa too. Discard the Hoopa. Yeah, the Hoopa does have a high retreat cost. Let's reflip again, see what we do. Oh, man, only 1. Still better than nothing. I mean, it's still kind of an energy accelerating. I mean, yeah, 1 energy, 1 extra energy drop. That's almost like the Turbo Blaze my opponent just did. Oh, man, except my opponent's playing double Dragon Energy. So, in theory, my opponent already has 3 energies on the field. And on his turn 2, at the beginning of his turn 2, at the beginning of our turn 2, we only had 1 energy. But by the end of our turn 2, we were able to get 3 energies. That's kind of nice. We see the AZ right here. With man, another double Dragon Energy. Oh, we're gonna get hit for 100. Nice to know we will survive the turn though. So surviving the turn is huge. We do get the switch right there as well. Question: do we want to switch? And a part of me does. I could undo that. I could switch into a fresh Lapras, but you know what? I'm just gonna. I think I might just. All right, we'll just attack. Let's see what we get. We do get 2 heads. We want to try it again. I'm feeling pretty risky, and we got 2 anyways. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're gonna power up. Fully power up the Kyurem on the right, and then slowly power up the Kyurem on the left. We do have a switch, so if my opponent does intend to drag out the Kyurem on the left or something like that, we can switch him back out and then use the Kyurem on the right. That's all powered up. Yeah, we'll just sacrifice this Lapras. I think at some point, my opponent definitely plays a lot of Pokemon on the bench. I mean, same as us, so we can probably go for a Glaciate and just hit 30 across the field. That'd be pretty funny. And we can't play Stadiums, nor can we play Tool cards anymore, so... and special energies don't really matter since we don't play any special energies in this deck. Here's a Tierno. My opponent plays another double Dragon Energy onto... Oh my goodness, my opponent counters the stadium. We see the Sky Field. I won't be able to counter that anymore, but the nice thing about Sky Field is that it actually helps me too in a sense. So here we go. We're going to probably just bring out the Kyurem here, and again, my opponent can still retreat. So that's kind of a beneficial thing for my opponent. We could play the energy on the Lapras here, maybe go for a Seafaring at some point, but you know what, we're just going to go for the Ice Caliber, force my opponent to retreat, and then play a switch to try to attack us again. I'd rather do that, and then also this Giratina here is injured, so my opponent will need to opt to play the other Giratina. Now, I didn't play Professor Sycamore because I do like to have the flexibility to have energy retrieval in my hand, and also keeping the switch in case my opponent Lysanders something out. So I want to hang on to those, and we do see my opponent play the Shaman EX. And again, I could definitely play the Professor Sycamore, but sometimes these 2 resources, and they're both secret rare here, are pretty valuable, and I don't want to just discard them aimlessly. So right here, we see my opponent does do the retreat as expected. The Hydreigon right now can definitely take a hit for us, and then since the Hydreigon does have free retreat anyways, we don't really need to play Escape Rope because, my opponent's just going to bring out the other Hydreigon. So we'll slowly power up the Kyurem on the bench. I think that's going to be the way to go. We could just hit for Glaciate across the board, and we could probably hit it again, and that should be able to knock out my opponent's Hydreigon EX on the bench. And we gotta wait and see. Does my opponent bring out the injured Hydreigon EX, or does he? If he does, we could probably play the Escape Rope. We could do that, or we could just take the hit and just keep going with the Kyurem EX. I don't think that's the best idea either, but we gotta wait and see. Does he play a DCE, or does he switch into the? Oh, never mind. He switches into the Guillotine EX that's already powered up. We're gonna get hit. Oh man. So we could play the Escape Rope and bring this. Oh no, we see a Pokemon Center Lady. Oh man, that totally backfired. I did not expect to see a Pokemon Center Lady. And there we go. We got to see a Pokemon Center Lady indeed. Now we can actually play the Lapras too. We can switch into the Lapras if we really wanted to. Or, we could probably hit the Ice Caliber again. Yeah, we can. But then, the Giratina over there definitely can hit us. But, we're just going to take the slow. I think we're going to go with a very slow route here. And let's just go ahead, hit for Glaciate, and now I guess we can use the Professor Sycamore. Let's go ahead, hit for Glaciate, and hit across the field. Now, I probably could have gone with the Escape Rope, but my opponent has Free Retreat anyways, and so my opponent would have retreated into the Giratina with all the energies or whatever. So this was probably, just play the Sycamore, see what other hand I got. So again, the Escape Rope definitely could have been used, but, forget it. My opponent's got Free Retreat, and it wouldn't really matter. So, if we get hit, we could definitely... Oh, no, my opponent brings out the light. Oh, man, there goes our Kyurem EX with 3 energies right there. We can definitely... Oh, my opponent brings out an Enhance Hammer. Nah, I'm not too afraid of that. Enhance Hammer will not be very effective against this deck. So we can promote our Kyurem EX here with 3 energies, or we can promote the Lapras. I'm going to go ahead and just promote the one with 3 energies. We could definitely do the Lapras, but I think we're just going to go ahead and just keep hitting. We can't play the Muscle Band. That's a little disappointing. But we could knock out the Giratina. But you know what? We're just going to play it nice and slow. Put this Giratina down to 10 HP. Man, it's just a little bit disappointing. In the next turn, we could probably play the Professor Birch's Observation. We do have a switch available to us, and the Lapras next to the Shaman EX over there has 1 energy. So again, at some point, I would really like to take out a couple EXs in one shot. And we can probably take out that Shaman EX and the Reshiram over there on the left too. So if we can do that, that'll be so awesome. Shaman EX is down to 20 HP, and looks like we can just slowly... Oh, we see a switch. Are we going to see... We could see a DCE drop. We could see... Here's a Muscle Band. And yep, there's the DCE. Okay, so we'll be able to knock out... We can take... what is it? 4 prizes this turn. So that's kind of nice. And what I'd really like to have is, maybe off the Professor Birch's Observation, we can get another energy. If we can slowly power up the Kyurem EX, that'd be really nice too. And the Kyurem EX in the active spot could be in danger because of my opponent's, just powering up the Pokemon on the bench and stuff like that. So we won't be able to take down this Giratina right here, sadly, but we will be able to take down the Giratina on the bench. And okay, here we go. So we top decked an energy. That's kind of nice. So the real question is, do we want to switch into the Lapras and go on from there? And I think so. I think just to be safe, we're gonna do this. Let's go for the Professor Birch's Observation. We do flip heads. We got a Rough Seas we can't even use. We'll go with the Seafaring here, and we're able to get 3 tails. Are you kidding me? Oh, that is devastating. Now the Lapras will very likely... It's just gonna get... Oh man, it's just gonna get knocked down. But the nice thing here is that we can play a fresh Kyurem EX and knock out. Well, yeah, take 4 prizes that way. So got a couple energies. Got 5 energies in the discard pile. This deck does play a pretty heavy amount of energy cards. So there is the knockout with the Muscle Band hitting for 120, knocking out the Lapras. That Muscle Band did make a difference for sure. So we could probably go for oh man. Flipping tails there. I could have gone for maybe the Lysander, perhaps, and knock out one of the... well, we wouldn't be able to knock them out anyways, but if we can knock out those Hydreigons, that'd be pretty cool. So right there, 4 prize turn right there. 4 prize turn, and we should be able to knock out the other Reshiram over there. We have a Dive Ball, we got Shaman EX, we got Trick Coin that can't be played. We got 12 cards left. My opponent's got 15, so we're looking pretty decent. Not terrible. So let's see here. We got, oh man, it's gonna take 2 more turns to knock out these Hydreigons over there. Otherwise, if we had had a VS Seeker or even just a straight up Lysander, what I'd like to do is knock out, I don't know, maybe not the Hydreigon. We should just knock out the Giratina. Yeah, what am I talking about? Let's just knock out the Giratina and take the 2 prizes. If my opponent does not Lysander the Kyurem EX on the bench, it would be game over for my opponent. My opponent goes for a roller skates, flips tails. See, I wanted to Lysander out the Hydreigons just because I don't like these Hydreigons. They give my opponent the flexibility to, you know, have free retreat. And that's what troubles me. But all right, here we go. Ice Caliber for the finish, and that's it for the game. So hey, I don't know, that was pretty fun actually. We were able to set up pretty well, pretty consistent on the energy drops, and getting the game wrapped up. We cracked 1,000 damage, 1,010 damage that was done. So that's actually pretty good. And otherwise, you know, we flipped 7 heads, or 4 tails and 7 I can't even think straight now. 4 heads, 7 tails. So the ratio wasn't really in our favor, but my opponent flipped 2 tails and no heads. So, anyways, I think this deck definitely is a lot of fun. If you guys have the cards and the means to build it, go by all means, go ahead and build it and give it a try. That's it for the video. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button below this video if you're a returning subscriber. Thanks so much for being a part of this channel and being a part of this epic journey of countless and endless Pokemon TCG online battles and other fun stuff. Now, you guys take care. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.